Alright, hello everybody. Just a second, getting the stream finished setting up, making sure everything is working. And hello everybody, and welcome to Loop Hero. It's a game that looks like something you wouldn't like, but is actually something you'll love. Now, a disclaimer, obviously, if you don't like roguelite deck builders, you might not like it. But it seems like something that's kind of convoluted and, oh, it's like old PC, it's gimmicky, but no, this is actually a really engaging and super fun game to play. I'm not sure how much to watch. I personally enjoy watching it, but I would totally get if you guys are like, what the fuck is this? But, oh, hello, good day. Hello, Brandon. Hello, Quaker Button Nose. Good to see everybody in here today. So, the premise of Loop Hero is you play it, the world has been destroyed by someone. Everything is gone. Memories, like everything itself. But for some reason, you exist. And as you slowly walk around this tiny wasteland of a world that once was, you pick up little memories and pieces of the world, like a village or a forest. And you can set them down and rebuild the world around you. And each time you go around the loop, it gets harder, you get better loot. But it's technically an idle game. You know, like those games on your phone where it does it automatically, but you're making so many choices, you don't really leave it in the background. There's a lot going on. But, like, you don't, click to attack or anything. It just kind of runs itself, and you just put things down and make strategic decisions. So, hello, Hexic. Good to see you. So, as you guys can see here, I have about 11 hours in this game already. And I'm pretty far. I'm already at, like, the third boss. I know how to play. But for the sake of story and to give you guys the best experience, even though I won't have as many of the cool tokens, I'm going to play on a different slot. And I will not skip the tutorial so you can see what's going on and I can explain the game to you. So basically you guys can see it. Because there's a lot of things that happen the first time you run into a new enemy or a boss, that like lore, that you'll miss if I play on my old file. Plus it'll help you guys get introduced. And the game gives you a very minimalist tutorial and then lets you figure things out. Hello, welcome Will Zed, welcome. So without further ado, I'm going to jump right into it. And I hope you guys have a good time. Will it play the cutscene? I believe it will. Yeah. The stars in the sky are going out, one by one. But no one notices it. No one can stop it. I'm racing to the last place where there's still hope. I need to make it before it's too late. Sounds of agony will quickly fade. The world will be destroyed. Even the memory of it will be gone. And even if there is absolutely no chance of bringing it all back, there will always be someone who is willing to do the impossible. In a place without space, without time, without memories. Where am I? I can't see anything except this path. My head is killing me. I remember only a skeleton with a staff in the sky. This darkness was coming from him. Did he destroy everything around here? Just standing here won't do me any good, I guess. And then, so basically this game has two modes. There's planning mode where the map freezes and you can put on armor, put stuff down. You can also do that while the game is moving. And then there's adventure mode where you move. Hope I'll be able to find some shelter before nightfall, if such a thing as a night still even exists without a sky, of course. Pay attention to the day progress bar at the top of the screen. New enemies usually appear at the end of the day. Continue your journey by changing the game mode, space, right-click, mode switch. So here we have a living ball of slime. Quite a nuisance. They digest anything they can. Hey, I remember this creature. Maybe I just need to freshen up my memory and everything will go back to normal. So, yeah, traveling, fighting, and most other actions are done automatically. The player can't affect them. So, as you'll see, you just kind of fight, but if you hover over the enemy, or if you have items in your inventory, it'll stop it and you can read. So we see here the slime's HP, how much damage it does, how often it attacks, and we see it as the properties artificial, life, and liquid. The properties aren't too important, at least not in the beginning of the game, so you don't really need to pay mind of like specific stats. But, yeah. And then as you see, he dies. It's hard to fight with your bare hands. I think there's a weapon in the remains of this thing that's not fully digested. You have an inventory and an item slot. You know what to do. So you get loot, and the loot's better the more times you've gone around, and also depending on the enemy, and pure luck. And then you can equip loot as you go, get stronger, but so do the enemies get stronger, and you place stuff down. I think I remember that there was a grove nearby. Are these even my memories, or do they belong to that slime? And then, as I explained, you can use cards that are left after defeating enemies to add various new objects to the map. That's what planning mode is for. You can do it while adventuring too, but planning makes it a little easier to control what you're doing. So, and then we're gonna, you see an enemy spawns on a grove. We fight this rat wolf. Get some more forest rat wolf. I was right. Some emotional stress, a few colorful images, and a bit of adrenaline, and everything will be forgotten like a bad dream. Or remembered as a bad... Damn! It's good that nobody's listening. Alright, you can get new items and cards during battle, so as you probably already noticed, some items have unique properties, as do most of the cards. By hovering over an item or card, you can inspect its properties. So yeah, you can see on the right there, where the status is, you'll be able to see like what each card or weapon does. So, a forest gives plus 1% hero attack speed. And as you can see, some tiles, like rocks and forests, go anywhere on the map, and some go on the loop. So we'll put the forest over here, and we'll put the rock over here. Rock gives HP and gives more HP for adjacent rocks and mountains. We have a weapon with vampirism and a bit more damage. Great. So there was a mountain over there, and here's a forest. The world's just like new. The branches and stones in my backpack are a sure sign of that. So as you see, when you place these things down, or when you walk by certain landmarks, you get resources. And at any time in the game, except during a battle, you can leave. If you leave anywhere else on the map, however, you only retain 60% of your resources. If you leave on the campfire tile, you get to keep all your resources. And also, every time you pass the campfire tile, you heal a little. And if you die, you only get to keep 30% of your resources. So it's kind of a game, until you feel confident you have a build that can beat the boss, of getting as many resources as you can without getting too greedy and then leaving. Some of your actions will yield resources that you will need later on, but not right now, but that shouldn't stop you from looking at them right now. So yeah, we have rock and we have wood. And this is an exception. They're giving us full materials because it's the tutorial, but usually you get shitty pieces of materials, and then when you get like an X amount of them, they become a big material. Brandon says, you have no idea how badly I wanted to make the Lich Skeleton Sands. By the way, thank you, Hamilton, not Alexander Hamilton, aka Brandon, for making the thumbnail for this stream and for the last one. He's been doing a bang-up job of that. But yeah, I know this game sounds like there's a lot of explaining, but trust me, it gets pretty intuitive. I'm just trying to, because it's easier to kind of play than watch, I'm trying to explain what's going on. I think it's time to get some rest. The game itself is a journey on a looped path. Only you will decide when it's time for the hero to return to the camp, either you or the fangs and claws of your enemies, of course. You can retreat almost any time, but a special animation will let you know when it's safer to do so. So that's this right here. And yeah, you keep all your resources. It's cold and dark here. A small fire can solve both these problems. Nice place to set up camp. This is when all resources you've gathered will come in handy. Who would have thought? You've just enough wood and stones to make a campfire. What a nice coincidence. Build a campfire using the building function while at camp. There we go. Congratulations, you've beaten this annoying tutorial. You can now start your first expedition. Or not. Do as you wish. And they don't give you any info the first time you do it. We're gonna start. And as you'll notice, the loop looks different and everything went away. This path, everything is wrong. But I remember. It looks like a completely different place, and it's empty again. Do my actions have any meaning? Like I have a choice. If I need to give up and cry to save the world, I'm the worst savior of all. Let's do it. And basically, welcome to Loop Hero. You run around, you collect stuff for monsters, and you strategically place tiles and equip stuff. And some tiles have combinations. So for example, we have a meadow here. When a meadow is down, you heal 2 HP at the start of each day. However, if you put a meadow adjacent to any other tile that's not a meadow, it becomes a blooming meadow and it heals 3 HP. And even though you can retroactively place something next to a meadow, I personally like waiting until I have something I want to place the meadow around. So I'm going to leave that meadow there for now. And each day, usually new enemies spawn based on the tiles you got going on. So we're just going to be fighting some slimes right now to get our sort of starting equipment. Alright, and here we've got a little bit of a setup. So the first thing you'll notice is we have a spider cocoon, which spawns a spider on an adjacent tile once a day. A silky bastion of 8-legged hunters. And now, I normally wouldn't do this, but I'm just going to do it to show. I can place these meadows, and see, as I place, I get resources, and also now they're blooming meadows. And here we have a battlefield. It spawns a chest at the start of each loop. Enemies on adjacent tiles can become ghosts. So we're going to put a battlefield right here, so we can get a chest right after camp. Chests usually have pretty good loot. And we're going to continue forward. And that's basically the premise of this game. You go around and around, it gets harder and harder, you get better and better equipment, and either you leave after you feel like you've gotten enough resources to build up your camp, or you try and take on the boss. But the bosses are pretty difficult. You'll usually want to have a few things built in camp first. And for this first expedition, we don't really have that many cards, and we weren't really allowed to edit our deck, so we just have what they've given us. So right now we have a beacon, a worthless landmark in a world with no direction. 40% movement speed within its range, 20% attack speed for all units. So we're going to put it right here. And we've got some rocks and mountains. So you want to put a mountain somewhere like here. You want to surround it. Alright, and then we can put another meadow. Oh, no, we can't. My bad. That's the bottom. Alright, we're going to keep going. Hey, welcome, Swifts. Yeah, these graphics are very pretty good day. The game has so much character. I love it. It's very, very pretty. Alright, so this is about the same ring, so there's no point equipping that. So another, like I told you, tiles can combine. So if I put 2 battlefields down to get 2 chests, I also create blood paths. Every 4 days a blood clot spawns, and I can kill those for pretty decent loot. Some enemies give better loot than others, even though they're harder. And that's also why I'm building in the mountains the way I am. You'll see something I've got going on. Alright, so this will give us 14 less max HP, but it'll give us 4% more attack speed, which at this low of a level is perfectly fine, because we're not really in danger of dying, so let's take that for now. Alright, we've got some chests. Let's see what loot they've got for us. Yeah, this is a very cool game. And it's really fun. And you can easily lose hours playing this. I've made the mistake of not paying attention and losing a lot of time while playing. Because you just keep going through loops and loops and you keep building. And each loop itself usually doesn't take that long to play, so you can just really crank out games. So this will give us more attack speed, so you can see all our stats down here. The vampirism's not too valuable when we don't have that much damage, so let's try and work on that attack speed. The shield's going to give us more defense, damage to all defense, regen per second. Pretty good. This ring gives 4% attack speed, actually, so it's lower than 8, but it has magic damage, counter, and vampirism, which is pretty good. But the counter and vampirism are pretty low, and so is the magic damage, so I actually think the ring here is going to be better, even though this has more stuff on it. And then we've got a Dirk, which is going to give us some good damage, some defense, some evasion, and some vampirism. No reason not to put that on. We don't have another weapon. And off we go to the races. Yeah, the setting is very cool, and you'll see, because I started a new file for the stream, as we find new types of tiles and do new things, there's going to be more and more lore unlocked. I really like the lore of this game. I really like the aesthetic of it. It's kind of got sort of a comedic, nihilistic, at least from what I've seen. I haven't beaten the game yet. I've only gotten to the 3rd boss. It's got sort of like a nihilistic tone, but like it plays it off in a comedic way rather than like a depressing way. Because, you know, every time you go back or die, everything resets. You have to build the world again. Alright, so here is an interesting item. We got a vampire mansion. So any enemies adjacent to the mansion in this little zone, when we fight them, a vampire will appear. And you can combine vampire mansions with the villages, which we don't have yet, to do some funky stuff. But basically, vampires, difficult enemies that heal when they attack you, but they give pretty good loot. So we're going to put that down. We're also going to work on continuing to build our mountain range here. You'll see what that is in a bit. And we've got some meadows. We could put them around here, but we don't want to, because this is going to form something, and we're going to want to leave space open. So we're just going to hold on to these meadows a little bit longer. Back off, human. A vampire? Where are your lands? If your farmers need help, I would be glad to offer it. No more lands. No more flock. Only hundreds of years of emptiness. And hundreds of years of hunger! Save yourself while you still can. I don't know how long I will be able to keep my head straight. What hundreds of years are you talking about? Your mind is easy to trick, but you can't trick my hunger. It demands its share. Every sip, every drop of blood will go to satiate it. I'm too weak, but you can help me, and I will set this crumbled world right. Right, I'm doing this not for just myself, but for everyone, in the name of good. So be grateful for my hard work and just let me bleed you dry! So that's an interesting bit of lore in this world. You guys probably picked up on that, but vampires In whatever world this was before, he explains it. Vampires often owned our lands. They kept the peace and helped our settlements to prosper. But this won't do it all. Now they are just pale shadows of their former selves, both physically and mentally. Apparently, the blood of other creatures can't sustain them. He wasn't joking about the hunger. Even the creatures that stand near him are imbued with the power to devour someone else's life. So, interesting thing to note, I mentioned there are villagers. No, there are not going to be actual groundhogs in the game. Apologies, Swifts. At least not to my knowledge. So there's a tile you can get, which are villages, which you stop by, and they heal you and you give a quest. If you put one by a vampire mansion, for 3 days they become a ransacked village because the vampire fed on everyone. And there's a bunch of ghouls, and they're pretty tough to fight. But after 3 loops, it becomes a thriving village, because then the vampire is sated, and he actually helps them, and you get much more healing and much better quests from it, which is kind of a neat little detail I really like, but we don't have villages yet. Yeah, whoever that chat is better than Strahd, agreed. Yeah, that was a really interesting thing to me, is like, vampires are good guys in this setting. So we've got a little bit of loot to look at, so let's pause here for a second. So this is going to give us way more HP. We lose our attack speed, but we get damage to all, defense, and regen. It's just a much better deal. This also gives us damage to all. We lose our evasion, our defense, and our vampirism from it, but we get a little bit more damage and damage to all, which I think we could build on. This is going to give us attack speed and vampirism, but we already have damage to all. And this is going to give us a little bit more defense, gives us a little bit of magic damage and counter, but I honestly think, as you can see, damage to all, not only will that attack multiple enemies at the same time, but that just adds to base damage. So by stacking damage to all, we get basically a plus 13 to our damage that's AoE. So we've got a pretty solid build right now. Usually you want to focus, in my experience, as someone who's gotten pretty far, you want to focus on building 1 or 2 stats, and like kind of work around that. You don't always have the option. Sometimes, as you get farther in loops and loot is limited, you have to take what's better in the moment. But ideally, you want to try and figure out a build as you go. And some builds are just better than others. Like if you can get evasion going, that's usually one of the best ones for the warrior. Or just sheer raw stats like high HP and damage. But yeah, very good lore. Does the equipment color mean anything? Yes. I don't know the exact ranking, but blue is the weakest, and either orange or yellow is the best, and it just means, like, higher value. So, a yellow armor, it doesn't have as much raw stats as the shield of the same level, but it has magic damage counter. So, gray items will always have the highest raw stats so see, each weapon and armor has levels. Gray items will always have the highest raw stats, highest defense, highest damage. But blue will have slightly lower, and it'll have an extra thing. And then yellow and orange, I don't remember which is better. I think orange is the best. They have a little bit lower of that main thing, and they have a ton of extra things. So it's kind of a balance of if you want pure... Good night, Swifts. So it's a balance of if you want just the pure stats of like defense damage, or if you want things like vampirism, counter, attack speed, magic damage, which are valuable. So at some point you have to strike a balance, because there are parts where having the highest rarity armor is not necessarily always the best, depending on your build or what you need in the moment. But generally, the better, the further down that color scheme you go, the better it is. All right, we've got some good gear here. So this gets rid of our damage to all, even though it's higher defense and higher regen, so we're going to leave it. This has damage to all, a little bit less than the mace, but it has more total damage. It adds magic damage, and it adds evasion, so we're going to take that. Orange is essentially legendary, yellow is rare, blue is a magic, and gray is basic. Kind of like Diablo sort of items. Exactly, TD Snyder. That's a good way to put it. We have 3 orange rings, so we lose our damage to all and our attack speed, but we get regen, evasion, counter, defense. What we might want to do is start switching our build here, because we have counter from this as well, and we can start, look, we have 19% counter. If I really wanted to, I could put this on and get more, but I kind of want to keep a little bit of evasion, 19% evasion as well. We have another spider cocoon. So let's drop that down right here, and then we can place 2 more meadows. Perfect. And we can put a meadow by the beacon too, I forgot about that, because I don't usually run beacons in my deck, but this is the tutorial. So we're fighting some blood clots, a little bit trickier enemies, but they give much better loot than your average slimes. Alright, got another mountain, put that here. And certain things will happen too. Like I said, there's combinations for tiles that make special tiles. If you put down, for every 10 rocks and mountains, you put down a goblin camp spawns. For every second village, you put down a bandit camp spawns. TD Snyder has played maybe a bit too much of this after work today. Oh, don't I know it, buddy. I bought this, like, the day it came out or the day after. I've already put 11 or so hours in, which doesn't sound like a lot, but basically anytime I haven't been doing the channel, school, or, like, personal, like, writing projects, like, any just free time I've had, I've been playing this. I love this game. It's so chill. And it's really fun. And it's just so deceptively simple, but there's a lot to it. Alright, This gets rid of our damage to all, but let's get in a little bit of defense, and we lose a little health and regen, but we get so much more evasion. This actually bumps us to 32% evasion, which is really good. If you can get an evasion build going, it's one of the best builds as the warrior, which is this class. You can unlock other classes, by the way, as you go. I think I have them all on my other one. I think there's only 3. There's the rogue and there's the necromancer as well. Alright, we'll put this right here. We have a grove. We'll put the grove right here. Because I don't remember if we start with a blood grove or not, but that's really good to have if you want to fight the boss. I don't know if the starter deck has that, though, yet. Alright, fighting some vampires. Alright, don't want that. Even though it's a higher level and more HP, the evasion's more valuable than the vampirism to us. We got a cemetery? That's weird. I thought a cemetery was a tile you had to unlock. I didn't think we started with it. Alright, let's put a cemetery down. Cemetery spawns skeletons. Skeletons are pretty tough. They're weak to magic damage, but normal damage they resist pretty well. So we don't want to put our second cemetery down just yet. We'll see how we handle one right now. Because we only have 4 magic damage, which isn't the most. Alright, I'm going to take down some more blood clots. Oh, look at all those evades. Evasion is so good. Alright. And then, right, that's a side effect of a battlefield. When you fight enemies and they die, sometimes they spawn ghosts. And now you guys can see this special tile. When you put a 3x3 rock and mountain combo, you get a mountain peak, which gives a bunch more HP, and it gives more HP for additional mountains and rocks around it, which is why we didn't place meadows. And it starts spawning harpies, which are pretty tough enemies that also drop very good loot. And one thing you'll notice is, you see right here below the day bar, this is the map completion bar. Every time you put down... Magic damage is very amazing, TD Snyder, I agree. Every time you put down tiles, this fills up, and if you fill it all the way up, the boss spawns at your camp. So if you just want to get resources, you want to be careful not to fill it up, but it takes a long time to fill it up, so usually that's not an issue. So we have an opportunity here for 1 less evasion, and we lose our counter, but we get vampirism, regen, and the same defense. Well, the regen's the same too, so we're really trading 1% less evasion for 7% vampirism. This, on the other hand, gives magic damage, damage to all defense, and 1 less evasion, which honestly is way better, because we need more magic damage to take care of these skeletons. This will give us attack speed and vampirism, which is pretty good, but I don't want to lose that 2 magic damage or that 11 evasion, so I think we'll leave that off. And this just gives regen, even though it's a good bit more defense. We don't want to lose that magic damage just yet, because when you have skeletons on the map, you really want any magic damage you can get. This is an Oblivion. It lets you delete a tile, which I will do for this goblin camp, because goblins are a little too scary right now with our build. Actually, you know what? No, I'll leave the goblin camp so you can see goblins. I'll put a cemetery right here, and I'll put another grove right here, stack those together. Yeah, Loop Hero has really cool lore, and the gameplay is more fun than it looks. I know I'm just dragging stuff on, but it really is all about this planning, and about this, like, kind of discovering what works, and what different tile combinations do, because they don't explain any of that to you at any point in the game. You figure that out. And it's really cool. And it's really, really fun. That right here. Put this there. And what we could do, I'm wondering, I've never tried it before. If I put meadows around the goblin camp and deleted it, would they stop being blooming meadows? Let's set them down for now, because maybe we'll leave that goblin camp there. Goblins are scary because when you kill one of them, all the other goblins get like an attack speed, and I don't remember if it's damage or just attack speed buff, but it can be pretty tough if you don't have the right gear set to deal with them. But they also drop pretty good loot. Alright, we've got another spider cocoon. Let's toss that down right... I want to put it in a place where we can build meadows off it easily, but it doesn't look like we have too many more of those types of situations. Oh, we could do like here. Bum bum. And the music is bopping. The aesthetics are bopping. Stop! Oh wait, that's the goblin. Stop! Where did these goblins come from? I don't remember remembering you.
We remembered ourselves. Now give us all you've got.
You have no idea what's going on, right? Why don't you help me restore order in this world first, and then you can do anything you want?
Goblin must rob! No other order in the world!
Fair enough, I guess. Guess I don't have any valid objection here. Oh, wait, I do have one. How about die? Do Blooming Meadows count as non-meadow tiles for the purpose of activating Blooming Meadows? No, they do not, unfortunately. Otherwise, you could just stack them in a big field. They have to be built off of other existing structures. It's strange how these creatures appeared here on their own. Maybe it means everything is actually not so bad and that the world is trying to restore itself. Or that even the apocalypse isn't enough to get rid of some pests. Alright, we've got another beacon here, so why don't we set it down right here. Here should be good. Or no, maybe we want it by the vampire. No, we want it over here. Yeah, so one goblin's not really a big deal, but when multiple goblins are on a tile, they can get pretty scary pretty quickly. So right now we don't have any sustain because we haven't built an herbalist's hut yet, so we don't have any potions, and we don't have any vampirism or regen, really. We have a tiny... No, we don't have any regen. Our only regen is from the meadows right now and passing camps. So, in all likelihood, we're not going to fight the boss in this run. Our goal is to get as many resources as possible. Right now. Let's put this right here. Goblin design is top-notch, indeed. Road lanterns. Decrease the maximum numbers of monsters on adjacent tiles. The effective lanterns can stack. We're going to want to put one next to the goblin camp. Right there. Because goblins are an issue. Normally, I wouldn't run road lanterns. But again, tutorial deck didn't get to choose this first time around. Gonna knock out some spiders. Pew, pew, pew. Alright, get some more rockaroonies. And do we have anywhere we can put these meadows? Yeah, we can put one off this here. We can put one off this beacon. Awesome. You can see your HP per day here. Our resources are going along pretty nicely right now. Every time you place tiles or pass certain tiles, and sometimes when you beat enemies, you get them. And also, when your inventory is full and you get new items and these are pushed off, or you have too many cards and cards are pushed off, you also get a special resource for that, which is kind of neat. Where to build this off of right now? Oh, yeah, I could put it off this road lantern. Or whatever this is, beacon. I can't remember. Road lantern, yeah. Alright. Want any of this yet? Give us something good, vampire. Or not. Alright, let's put another... Put it like right here. And then... Yeah. Keep it moving. Take down some rat wolves. So I'm not sure how much longer we'll get with our current build. I don't know if we can make it another loop or not. So I have to make a decision right now, yeah? Ooh. We lose our damage to all, we lose some defense, we lose some evasion, but you get a lot of magic damage. That's tempting. So this is where the greed comes in. I could retreat right when I reach camp here, or I think I could maybe make it one more loop and then get a bunch more resources, but I don't want to get too greedy. I think for now I'm going to put this magic damage ring on, because the magic damage is just top-notch. What I'm going to do is I think I'm going to start switching from evasion. No, but evasion's really been... Oh, but we already lost some from losing the ring. Yeah, let's switch to... Oh, no. Okay. This will give us more defense and some regen. This will give us some... We lose a little bit of magic damage, but we get attack speed and vampirism. And then we really need better armor, and we'll keep this big magic damage ring. And that's going to do us pretty well. Put a grove down here. And we can build a little meadow off of here. Or even right here. Ba-da-boop. Get a little bit of sustain going. Can we keep going? This is where we have to make a decision. I don't know if we can. Let's play it safe. There's no reason not to. Retreat! I can't believe it. Hey everybody! The boy has managed to return! Survivors? Does this mean I'm not alone anymore? Where did you come from? Is there still a place without darkness? We don't know where we came from, or we can't remember. These people you see are only a small part of what's left of the group, I think. You're not sure? We're not sure. We reached that conclusion because of the abandoned luggage and leftover daily rations. With each day, new signs of presence of people that, as far as everyone here knows, have never even been with us. It's like we forgot them. You forgot? Exactly. It's like people disappear every day and we instantly forget they even existed. Almost as if we forgot the place we came from. And our families. Maybe even ourselves. My name's Yoda. That's the part I still remember. Nobody else's memory is in much better shape. That's why I remember so little about myself. Everything's forgotten. But wait, you said that I'd managed to return? That means you remembered I was here. Yes, that's why it's so important to us. We saw you leave, but you were gone before we could approach you. Listen, we can't wander around in this emptiness anymore. There's a campfire and a few sleeping bags here. A real luxury in these dark times. What do you say? Oh, of course. I'd be very grateful if we could team up. I want to restore everything. I've begun to remember the world as it was before. Yeah, same TD Snyder. I overextend all the time. I die probably more often than I don't, because I like to play really risky. But since we're just starting off, I want to get those buildings up real quick. But there's no point to it without other people. It's too lonely without them. Remembering the world? I don't understand what you're talking about. Too exhausted. But we'd be glad if you could help us, and we'd be glad to help you. Just don't ask us to go with you. I don't know how you managed to return, but for us, leaving the group is too dangerous. I will ask no such thing of you. For now, I just want to have a place to return to. A place where I can hear other people's voices. We weren't joking about helping you. Here are the few things that survived the cataclysm and don't vanish away. Can't be forgotten. Take them. You might need them. They gave us some free resources! Check our statistics. Those, no one cares about numbers. Alright, so now we can start building. So we don't have enough rations to make our herbalist's hut yet, sadly, but we can make a field kitchen. Which increases the campfire's healing power and gives us blood grove, which is big. Darnell, your hubris, your arrogance, your greed, says Hamilton. So we're gonna build a little field kitchen. You know the difference between a good cook and a bad cook? The food made by a good cook is tastier. What? You were waiting for something more elaborate? Sometimes the truth is very simple. Look, I have a cauldron, a hearth, a couple of knives, a bucket of potatoes, 3 onions, and some ham. Nothing special. Everything is very simple. But give me a few minutes and everyone in this camp will be running to my table, following the tasty smell of a good stew. Alright, I will not be my own downfall, Hamilton. How dare you? So yeah, usually when you make a new building, you get like a little interaction. You can upgrade them as well. But usually in the beginning you want to go wider rather than taller with your building. And any resources you bring back to camp will stay here. So when we bring resources back next run, they will be added to this pile. And we can build more crap. But now we have Blood Grove, and now I can show you the deck building part of the game. So right off the bat, we want to turn off Beacon, and we want to turn off Road Lantern, because those are stupid. I thought you had to unlock Chrono Crystals. I'm confused I have them, but whatever. We'll put on Blood Groves, and then we can leave everything else the same. Unless you can only have between 7 and 12 cards, 7 minimum, 12 max. So you don't always necessarily want the max or the minimum. You want a good balance of what you want in your game, but also you don't want to bloat it too much so you can get it more often. We don't have villages yet, sadly. I don't remember what gives us those, but those are a real lifesaver. And then we can also see the details of the chapter, the class, and the stats. And whenever you beat a boss, this portrait lights up and shows you the art, and it's really cool. So in Chapter 1, enemies only have 0 to 1 abilities. They have less strength than normal. They grow very small, but you can't take that many resources. So you can't... I mean, you can farm, but you can't farm nearly as much on lower levels as you can on higher levels. They kind of thought about that. Warrior, this shows the stats warriors have. So Rogue and Necromancer have different stats for their gear. Class, Warrior. A class that doesn't have any particular benefits or disadvantages, has the highest durability compared to other classes. 2% damage for each second of the fight. Alright, and with that, we're going to start. And we've got ourselves a new loop. Alrighty, so slimes spawn on these little wasteland tiles, 5% chance of them spawning a day, and they usually give more tiles than any other monster, but they give like the worst loot, if any. Got a meadow, we don't want to put that down just yet. And again, you can retroactively activate meadows, but I just prefer placing them later. because it's easier to plan around that. Oh, yeah, and then we'll put a spider cocoon right here. Put another spider cocoon right here. We'll put our shield on. Keep it moving, keep it moving. Yeah, village is after a bit. I beat Act 1 before I got it, yeah. I'm gonna miss village, though. It's one of my favorite tiles, because I really like getting that vampire, the Count's lands early. We'll put our vampire village right here, so it can hit a lot of tiles. And we'll put a meadow off our vampire village. There we go. Sometimes you want to save meadows for treasuries. I did notice we have the treasury. I like the hero's little waddle. Yeah, it's very cute. Once you get going in the game and you have a lot of tiles and you really build your map, sometimes it's kind of hard to keep track of where he is because there's so many enemies and so many things. So we're going to start throwing some mountains down. We have a pretty good map for a mountain peak, actually, which is nice. This one's got a little bit more defense. This one looks prettier, but I want the bonuses of running things off here, so we'll keep it. Got another spider cocoon. We'll toss that right here. Gonna fight some early vampires, which is gonna give us some better loot. There we go. Slightly less damage, but we get regen, which isn't really worth it, honestly, with that little regen at this point in the game. So we're just gonna leave it. So see, you can't fall into the trap of higher rarity equals better, because even though it has more stuff, it's not always in your best interest. Yeah, ghouls can kill you if you set up the villages late. Exactly, TD Snyder. You gotta get them early. So we'll put a cemetery down. I'm kind of nervous to put one down so early before we get magic damage, actually, so maybe we won't put a cemetery down. But let's put another spider cocoon around here, get those rolling. And while we're at it, let's get a meadow. No! No! I misplaced the tile. That happens sometimes. It's ever so slightly infuriating, but we can fix it. It's just annoying, because now I have to build around the mistake. Or just have a subpar meadow. I'm a 1 HP. This is the same defense, but it gives additional defense and counter, so it's just objectively better in this scenario. So, this, and I'll show you. See, this is a blooming, but that doesn't activate that, so you can't stack them like that. We'll get to that meta later, I'm sure. Just sad. Alright, let's check out our rings. Defense, attack, speed, evasion. I think of these, we value the defense the most early on, since we don't have any sustain. And, I shouldn't, because I should work on the mountain peak first and foremost, but this is going to drive me insane if I don't fix it. There we go. We'll put a battlefield right here. And then, do we have anywhere else we can put meta? Yeah, we can put them around the rock. Big brain. Although maybe I should be saving them for a treasury. Pop open our chest, see what we get. Just an objectively better armor. Get some magic damage, some damage to all and some defense. That makes me feel confident enough to put down a cemetery. So let's put one right here, not too near the spiders. And I believe these spawn every 3 days, so we got a little bit before Skelly comes up. Take down some more spiders. And just kind of rinse and repeat. It's just a very chill game, very fun. You can really run through loops without realizing how much time you're spending, like I said. I would highly recommend it. I don't know if it's still on sale. It was on sale when it came out. This is just objectively better. And I picked it up like because someone recommended it, and I was like, oh, alright, I'll give it a try. Because I really like roguelite deck builders, even though it looked kind of wonky. And holy shit, I don't regret it. This game is awesome. And you can't tell because I'm streaming, but I'm playing it windowed. You can full screen it, but it's one of the few games, because a lot of people play games windowed, but I'm one of those people that really likes to play full screen. This is one of the few games where it feels normal and okay to play it windowed. And because it's an idle game, even though you're usually making decisions, you can like tab out for a second, go type a YouTube comment or read like a Twitter post, come back in, bada bing, bada boom. Not too much time has passed. And it's just kind of a game you can play while you're doing other shit. Except, don't do it if you have, like, homework, because it's so easy to be like, oh, I'm going to write something, or oh, I'm going to do homework while this is in the background. But no, you just get addicted to this. So don't do that. But, like, if you're, like, just browsing the internet, this is a great game to have up on your computer in the background. Very fun, very chill. Alright, and we're going to finish off our thing here. We're also, because we have 10 rocks, we're going to build a goblin camp. which is a little menacing. That's not too bad of a spot for it, though. And we don't necessarily want the damage for all from the ring. The evasion might be good, actually. Let's keep the defense for now. Start building around our mountain peak. So yeah, while we're just vibing, because this is kind of a vibe game, do you guys have any questions about the game or anything you want to ask me about DSCP or life or otherwise? Because this is a very chill type of game. All right, this is important. This is a blood grove. You can only put them next to forests, but they'll kill all enemies that you hit when they're under 15% HP. And if you put another blood grove next to the blood grove when there's not another grove, it becomes a hungry grove, and it kills people under 20% HP, but it also hurts you a tiny bit every now and then. I agree, it's decent for windowed and fooled, says TD Snyder. Absolutely. This game is just really fun, and it's a great time killer. And you always feel like you're accomplishing things. All right, perfect. We have a treasury. So a treasury cannot be placed near adjacent tiles. You have to place it on its own. And when you put tiles around it, you get resources. And when you fill all 8 tiles, you get items, more cards, more resources, and gargoyles spawn. All right, we got some more vampire killing to do. Alright, give me something good to eat. Let's see, this gives us evasion. We have the same defense, and evasion's better than counter, so let's take it. No groves yet, so we can't use our hungry meadow. Big brain strats is you always want to have a grove right next to your campfire, so you can put a grove there if you want to fight the boss. So this gives us the same defense. We lose our 2 magic damage, which is all we have for the skeleton, but we get counter and evasion at the cost of some damage all. And this one just gives a bunch of attack speed. This is honestly a tough call. It's also a lot more health. I think we take it for the evasion. Don't sleep on attack speed too. I'm not trying to sleep on attack speed. I know I haven't taken it much yet, but it's it's really better when you can stack a lot of it rather than putting on one individual attack speed item, in my experiences. This is a lot more damage, and the damage to all is not that important to us, so we're just going to take that. Yeah, and it really helps with bosses significantly. That's probably how I've gotten the boss 3 every time I've had a grove on the boss. Hamilton says, it's very meta to hear you speak about this game being good in the background because the stream is kind of in the background and doing something as well. Awesome. I'm glad, and I'm not saying that ironically. I don't care if you guys listen to this in the background. That's kind of an honor for me. One of my favorite YouTubers, Northern Lion, who I've watched for years, is like kind of my background YouTuber I listen to while doing other stuff or while going to sleep. And he's my favorite. But he is indeed my background YouTuber. You don't really focus on his videos, you just kind of listen to him and go off. Yeah, so you put a grove right here, and you can put a blood grove, and then you can get a hungry grove, and that's going to help a lot with the boss, if you get to the boss. But since we don't even have potions yet, I'm not sure if we'll be able to take the boss so soon, but we'll see. Got a lot of spiders here. And enemies get harder not just because they get a little bit more damage and health each loop in further bosses and chapters, but because they get more abilities. Like spiders eventually get an ability where every now and then they'll just put you in a web and you have to break the web before you can attack, which can like seriously frick you up if there's a lot of spiders around. Put another right here. Oh, maybe I should have put this treasury first. I wasn't thinking, and then I could have stacked them. Aw, man. Alright, whatever. We'll put this treasury down here. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, this music is such a bop. I'd like a better ring soon. Wow, thank you, game. I think, at this point, the regen will be slightly more valuable than the defense. Having any form of sustain will be pretty helpful, even though it's pretty small.
No!
What do you mean, no?
You want to save the world. You want to ask for help. Our answer is no.
How did you... But why no?
We see far away. We see deep inside. For a long time, there has been just emptiness instead of the sky. But it doesn't stop us from seeing. Your saving of the world is one-sided and naive. Each person sees their own way of saving the world. That's why no one will ever join you.
Fine. I don't fully understand it, but tell me your version. What does to save the world mean to you?
My progeny and my kin. For them to be strong and to live. It's a part of the cycle of life and death. It is life itself. It is the world.
Yeah, HP regen is definitely inferior to vampirism, but you can get a good thing going if you have enough of it and you have day cycles on the boss. But indeed, it is just inferior to vampirism. But vampirism is also shit if you don't have damage to go with it. So really, the biggest thing you can rely on is potions, but we don't have potions yet. Yes, Harpy, indeed, good day.
I will kill you and feed your remains to my starving younglings, and life will go on. And how many lives does your blade give birth to by killing again and again? Only one.
I don't want you or your children to die from starvation. Please, try to see reason. If my mission succeeds, Harpies can have all the sky and all the hunting grounds they need.
I can't feed my children with your beautiful words. It's time to say goodbye.
Harpies are really tough. They do a lot of damage, and oh, that's right, we're still on the first boss, so they don't have an ability. Eventually they get an ability where, like, every second or two they dodge your next attack, and it's so annoying, but they don't have that yet. And Harpies drop pretty solid loot, usually. I say that, and then all it drops is a rock. I feel awful. By fixing one evil, I'm becoming a source of another. There's no home for Harpies except the highest mountains, but there's no food there. I can't imagine how they managed to survive if their mountains were cut from reality. Put another grove down here. Let's get a rock. Yeah, lore very, very interesting for this game. Let's see what we got here. This is more regen, but the evasion, counter, and defense, and the more health is all just more beneficial to us than another 1.2 health a second. Oh, rock is solid. Rock solid. So, pro tip. If you have your treasury in the corner like this, you always want to put your meadows at the bottom and sides first to give yourself more time to put another treasury here so you can stack this row and get a twofer. This is a sad game indeed. Let's put down another forest a little bit away, maybe over here. Then we can get a blood grove going on. And maybe... I guess we just keep... I want to keep making that, though. Put one here. And the more loops you get, the harder enemies get, but the better chance of dropping better loot they have as well. Ain't just a vampire mansion, not super helpful. Magic damage is honestly more valuable than that regen. Yeah, we'll leave it there. Very sad game lore-wise, but very beautiful aesthetically, very cool music, very interesting gameplay. It's just so different from a lot of stuff out there, which I really admire. Don't really want the damage to all, it's not that great. Not worth losing the... Whoops. Set it to plan after this. So see that? Yeah, see? We didn't kill it all the way, but the grove finished it off for us, which is pretty based. This gives more evasion, slightly less health and defense, and no counter, but I think that evasion's strictly more valuable. And we'll put another rock down here. We'll pop down another spider cocoon. Yes. And we'll keep moving. And I don't think a tile can hold more than 4 enemies, but some tiles have archers, and archers can join on the side and add a little bit extra damage. But that's way later. This has a little bit less evasion, a lot less health. No, it's not worth it. Now this, on the other hand, slightly less damage, but we get damage to all, which kind of counters that damage. We get defense and we get counter, so we're going to take that. This is going to give us more magic damage, but we lose that evasion, even though everything else is pretty good about it. We need that evasion. Meadow down. So as you can see, this is the gray armor. It doesn't have the evasion of the blue, but it has slightly more health. Usually, like I said, the grays have a slightly... Other than at level 1, because everything's kind of the same at level 1. Usually the grays have slightly higher raw stats. Which makes them pretty interesting. And we have another meadow. Crap. More damage, lose the defense and the damage to all, slightly more counter. I think we take that. Alrighty. And that's more health and more damage to all, but again, we can't lose that evasion. We're almost done. We only need one more rock to complete this treasury. That's got us kind of moving along here. But yeah, any other questions for me? Anything you guys are talking about? How's everyone's night so far? Oh! Okay, so we lose out on the magic damage, but we get defense and a bunch of evasion. That's really freaking good. We're gonna take that. Yeah, how y'all doing tonight? I've been pretty freaking busy. Oh, here we go. We can pop this open. Alright, so tons of resources, tons of loot. Yeah, it's really awesome when you break those open. Here. I want to put this here. Let me think for a second about what I want to do. I don't think I want to Oblivion the Goblin Camp. Actually, I probably do. Let's check this out. Counter and regen. It's tempting, it really is. But that evasion is too important. We're at 41 right now, that's really good. Evasion, we just can't lose it. Especially when we don't have any good sustain options. One of the warmest days we've had in a while where I live. Very nice. Glad to hear, Will Zed. Especially after that cold snap that lasted for like God knows how long. That was like Nightmare World. I'm so glad things are heating up. My night's been great, says G'day. Finished a lot of school and finally got that redstone staircase working. That's right, you mentioned that in the other server before. Happy for you and your brother. Very cool, very cool. I never really understood redstone. It's beyond my small brain. So I just never fucked with it. Gotta knock out these spiders. I walk in the shadow of the valley of death. And... oh, I shouldn't have put that spider cocoon there, I'm stupid. I forgot the whole reason I put the thing there was to... whatever. I can do, however, this... oh, I thought I had 2 blood groves. Oh, I'm mega stupid. Gotcha. I'm just mega stupid. That makes sense. Don't know if we'll survive another loop after this at this rate. I'm not sure. We just don't have any... we don't have the herbalist's hut yet, which really sucks. Because that's a really good, consistent sustain. Honestly, what I might do, if we're going to end this loop, even though it's less optimal, is just prioritize finishing this treasury for the maximum resources possible. Moving. By the way, the road link on Aetherol Space videos goes to a completely different series. Could you... oh god, I don't know what Tan's doing. Could you please ping him in Aetherol Space chat and tell him that, and I'm sure he'll get on fixing it. That would explain a lot about why no one ever leaves reviews. That's sincerely appreciated. He must have been posting it wrong this whole time. That's so weird. That's strange. They worked for me, though. I don't know. That's very strange. Vampirism, I don't want to lose that evasion though. Evasion's so good. Alright, we're gonna finish this off. Gives us more resources. Only 1% less evasion, and we get magic damage and regen. But this... No, we definitely want this. Pretty good. Yeah, I think we're gonna go back on this loop. Let's see if we can make it to the end of the loop. We'll watch our health carefully here and see how things go. I'm a little nervous. Okay. It's right here. You get double the resource. I think we can take this. Okay, thank goodness. We targeted the goblin first. That was my main concern. We might have to put on this vampirism ring. Slightly less evasion, but we get vampirism and counter. Yeah, I think we'll put that on. Can we make it? Oh, the day passed based! Nice counter. Come on, little hero. You can do it. Magic dance. Less of... No. Can't do that. Nice. Nice. Oh, can we survive this? Because the vampire is going to spawn as well. I just don't know. We're so close, though. But 60 versus 30 is also a big difference. Because if you leave before you get to the camp, you keep 60. If you die, you keep 30. But I want to keep 100. I want to keep 100. Screw it. Oh, this was a mistake. Or maybe not. Based! Come on, kill the vampire. No. You're going too slow. You're going too slow! No! The vampire evaded! Okay. You got this. No, he's not going to make it. Oh, evade! Oh! Ah! My hubris! Frustration. I'm alive? But how? Thanks to us. A small group of us dragged you here. It wasn't easy. How could you fight off all those monsters? They nearly killed me. That's also interesting. Many of them vanished right before our eyes. Some we managed to avoid, but I think most of the beasts were gone even before we left the camp. I think your trips are deeply connected to your memories, my friend. Everything falls apart as soon as you're unconscious. We can't... We could have probably built the herbalist hut. We don't have enough resources to build anything. This is so sad! But see, that's what the game's all about. Greed. How greedy you want to get. And I got too greedy. And that sucked. But you know what? That's life. Sometimes you gotta make do with what you got. Smack the slime around. Give ourselves a little bit of HP Reno. And the only thing is starting a new loop's a little slow. It's usually not till like 2 or 3 loops in where things start to pick up. So you kind of gotta wait. Start building our mountain right here. Right. Started from the bottom, now we're here. So one of the things the 2 things you really want to rush, in my opinion, when you're starting this game out, is, like, the building-wise, is the herbalist's hut for sustain, and the gymnasium so you can start collecting XP and getting, like, permanent stats in each run. They don't last permanent forever, but, like, in the current run you're doing, they'll last. And those are super helpful. So those are usually the first two things I would recommend that make the biggest difference, in my opinion. Slightly more HP, then any damage is better than no damage. Let's avoid putting that cemetery down. Alright, bada bing, bada boom. We livin'. Slightly less damage, but you get damage to all evasion. I'll take it. Okay, and let's put a grove here by the campfire. Yeah, we gotta, you know, it's a little bit slow to start, but you'll build yourself up quickly. Get ourselves some damage for all here. Hold on. So we have the option between magic damage and vampirism and attack speed and evasion. Now, normally I would just say attack speed and evasion, but the magic damage would allow us to deal with the cemetery right away, and we might be able to start building vampirism off. This is a really tough choice, but I think I'm gonna go with the magic damage vampirism here, and I will put a cemetery down right there, probably. Interesting, Will Zed. Could you please ping Tan about that and let him know, since I'm running the stream right now? I would sincerely appreciate that while there's a chance he's still awake, if you would do that for me. This will give us some vampirism and defense, just strictly better. Alright, sorry, I got distracted there for a second, my mind spaced out. No, we'll keep what we got. Put another one of those down, put another one of these down, put a grove over here. And we do be killing monsters. Meadow. Hopefully we'll pick up some better loot soon, because we're already on loop 2, and that's scary as it is. Rock down by the treasury, try and get our treasury popped early. God, this music is such a jam. So, recently been doing a lot of writing. I've been trying to pick up art, actually. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to fall into that trap of, like, congratulating myself for something I haven't finished doing or have only just started, you know what I mean? And then end up dropping it. So I don't want to talk too much about it, but I want to get better at art, both for myself and so I can do merch eventually in the future, but mainly for myself. And I, sorry, let me figure out where to put this down. Let's go with right here. And I bought Clip Studio Paint because it was on sale impulsively. My monkey brain was like, buy it, sale! And I went full consumer, and it seems pretty interesting, but I kind of got an information overload. It was like the first time I played CK2 where there's just like so much shit on the screen. I was like, ah! But I'm very interested to see if I can't figure out how it works, and learn that at some point. This isn't as valuable to us as the magic damage and the vampirism. You haven't seen my art, right? Except for the Slobster, but that was my pencil art. My digital art game is trash, and I also don't know how to use digital art programs, but I've been looking at some videos, I've been trying to learn. 1% less vampirism for 3 more defense, I'll take it. This is 1% more vampirism, 7% evasion. We lose the magic damage. It's not like you have to have magic damage to fight the skeletons, it just really helps. But yeah, I would like to get better and better at digital art. I would like to learn all the crap on Clip Studio Paint and start making some really neat stuff. Let's figure out where we want these groves. Let's put a grove by the goblins, because then maybe less goblins will spawn, since only 4 things can stack on a tile. Up to 5 can be in a battle, and then past that, they're archers. Just for reference. Let's put a forest here as well. Let's put another battlefield here. Start getting those blood clots going. And then let's put a spider right here. Bada bing, bada boom. And we are well on our way. Let's see where this goes. Just infinitely better. You and I'm also trash at digital art, says Brandon. You and I aren't so different after all. I don't know, I really liked your thumbnail for this. That's pretty cool. You shared the art of the skeleton holding the other skeleton's head. Oh, you liked that? Thank you, that means a lot. I worked really hard on that. Even though it looks stupid. I spent like 30 minutes on it, which is like longer than I spend on most things for art. Yeah. And I felt pretty good about that. Yeah. I don't know. I'm practicing. Because art, like I tell everyone with writing stories, is the same way with how I view writing, and honestly everything. You suck at something the first time you do it, but the 50th time you suck a lot less. A lot of people are really intimidated to do stuff. And I know I talk about this a lot on streams. I apologize. I hope it's not getting too repetitive. But I just really want to hammer that point, because so often in the SCP community, and honestly just with young people in general online, they have this idea that they're not good enough to do something. But no one's ever good enough to do something when they start. You just didn't see them when they were bad at things. You have to work at things to get good at them. That whole idea of innate talent is pretty rare, if it even exists at all. Like, most people like work really hard to get at the things they do, and I want to encourage people to just start working instead of feeling like they're not good enough. So I feel like eventually I'll make some art I'm proud of. Right now I'm enjoying it, but I wouldn't say it's like something I'd want to share. D.D. Snyder says, I've never been much of an artist, but I've always written well. Sadly lack the creativity and motivation now. And honestly, that's another part of writing too that's built like a skill. And this is not to shame you, D.D. Snyder. A lot of writers are like you, but I don't really believe in the muse form of writing, which is like writers who only write when they feel inspired or motivated. Writing, especially as an author, as a job, if you ever wanted to be like an author, of books for a job, you have to learn to write even when you don't want to, or even when things aren't in your head. You kind of have to train it. And of course, writer's block exists to an extent, but you just got to put in the work. And obviously, that's easier for some people than others. And again, I'm not insulting you, and if that's not a priority in your life, don't worry about it. But honestly, to an extent, you can't just like rely on motivation to suddenly come to you to write. You got to put in the work if you want to be a writer. Like, I write all the time when I don't feel motivation, and then I'll get motivation, or I'll still be able to persevere with what I'm working on and feel good about it. It's just, to an extent, work ethic and discipline, I would say. Just like anything else, really. At this point, the higher damage is much more valuable to us. Yeah. And we're about to finish this treasury over here, which is pretty good. Put a mountain right here. And then we got a nice ring that gives a little bit more vampirism, some regen, some defense, some magic damage. We lose evasion, but that's honestly worth it. This gives a lot, actually not barely any more defense than what we have now, so let's just keep that. Otherwise we'd lose the vampirism. Sorry, I keep like interrupting my own trains of thoughts. Slap down some more spiders, put another meta up. We'll finish this treasury soon, that's pretty good. What we could do with is a better weapon, and some armor too. I always feel like there's always one piece of your gear that's lacking in this game for some reason. I've rarely had it where, like, I've had a couple runs, but rarely has it been like, all my gear, finally. It always feels like there's one item that's behind the others, which is kind of funny. Let's put some spiders here, so we have even less goblins to deal with. Big brain. Right. Plus HP, so we won't mess with that. This is going to be a pretty tough fight, but I think we'll pull through. We need to get some more vampirism and damage soon, though, if we want to sustain ourselves till the boss. Assuming that's our goal here. That is going to give some regen, but we lose all that vampirism, and we have less defense. Not worth. Alright, we can finish our treasury here. Perfect, perfect. This perfect vampirism, just what we needed, just what the doctor ordered. Let's give us evasion, but let's not lose the vampirism stacking we're starting to get. We're at 37 now, which is pretty good. Let's save these meadows, and just in case there is a frick, what am I looking for here? Just in case there's a treasury that pops up. And let's put down a vampire mansion. And you may notice I'm holding some oblivions, even though there's a goblin camp, and you know I hate goblins. That's because if we do get to the boss, this boss, the first boss, spawns a bunch of structures that give him extra damage and health, and you want to save your oblivions to destroy those. if possible. Of course, if something's giving you too much trouble, you might want to Oblivion it. But if possible, you want to save them, because Oblivion's a pretty rare card. Alright, we'll go into planning mode after this, because we got a treasury in the works here. Up here. Bada bing, bada boop, bada boy, bada bam. Yeah, I get your point. No offense taken. I love to write, but the most recent thing I've written are poetic in nature and to a really good friend. I was going to say if they weren't just to a friend, I'd love to read them, but I imagine it's something personal, so I understand. But I would be up to see some of your writing sometime. I always love seeing people in the server's writings and the stuff they're working on. I think that'd be really cool. And it's really awesome that you make stuff for your friend. I find that super sweet. Very, very sweet. Sometimes Tan and I... Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't really think we write to each other like that, but we do, like, often include little references of each other's works. Like, I have a lot of Aetheral Space references in my work, and he'll put, like, stuff in Aetheral Space that are, like, subtle hints to, like, an anime or some other thing I enjoy, which is pretty neat. Blocking the spawns for the boss buildings using your own structures is always an option. That's true. But I don't like crowding my spawn too much, because when I'm trying to get back in a rush to heal, if there's too much going on, it can be alarming. But I guess I could put a vampire mansion, and even stacking them here wouldn't really mess with much but the same tiles, which is a good point, actually. Funny. Let's put another cemetery down over here. And looking at that, alright, we're all good to go. Alright, I think we're good for at least another loop, maybe two. Maybe more if we can get a good weapon for once. Come on, game. Yeah, you can block the structures as well, which helps, because he only builds them around the camp where he spawns. And we're actually well on our way to spawning the boss here. Alright, perfect. We got a grove to set up. Oh, wait, did I build around the grove? I hope not. I really wish you would attack the Harpy first, hero. Really wish I could get a new weapon as well. It's starting to worry me. I'm a fool. I have to Oblivion this. Boom, boom, boom. Posted a poem I wrote in Writer Chat. It's one of the less personal ones. I'll give that a look after the stream. Speaking of, Will Zed, I hope you posted that thing. If Will Zed didn't post it in Aetheral Space, could someone ping Tan? He might be asleep by now. It might have already been too late, but if he didn't, could someone ping Tan and let him know about that Aetheral Space thing? I would super appreciate it. Because I don't want to, you know, pause the stream and go do that real quick. Because I know he'll want to get that fixed as soon as possible. Yeah, that's not worth our time. This could be worth our time. More magic damage, same defense, more attack speed, but we lose vampirism. But that attack speed's a big deal. And the regen's not really that important, I think. Call me crazy, but I think we take this. Because we still have 29% vampirism, which is pretty good. Yeah, it's not worth our time. I don't know if we can make another loop after this, though, if we don't get another good weapon soon. We might not even make this loop if we don't get a good weapon soon, to be honest. We are really behind in the weapon department, which is probably the worst piece of loot to be behind on, if I'm being perfectly honest. Gives attack speed, but we can't lose that vampirism. It's posted and Tan said he'd fix it. Awesome. Sweet. Appreciate the update. Thank you, TD Snyder. Alright, let's put another mountain down here, and we'll save this vampire mansion for a while. Tough. These skeletons hit like a truck. It'll give us more attack speed, but we lose that precious vampirism. Even though it gives a good bit more health, I think we have to keep going. I'm really getting nervous, though. Oh, that health and attack speed's too good. We have to take that. We just have to. Now we've got pretty decent attack speed to go with our vampirism. But we've lost a lot of vampirism is the thing. Oh, and there's another skeleton. Oh, will we make this? Oh! Salvation! I don't know if we can get past those goblins. What I might do is I might nuke the forest to see if I can't get to the end that way. Yeah, because... I just don't know. I don't know if we can take this harpy. I just don't know. Oh, I'm so nervous about this decision. I think we can take the harpy. Thank goodness we attacked it first. Oh, if it would stop evading! Oh. Oh. No, 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 no. Oh, no. I don't know if we can do this, guys. I think we have to call it here. We only keep 60, but that's better than 30. Yeah, we gotta call it. Another success! You've returned and we still remember you. Unbelievable! Yeah, it's good to be back, but I'd hardly call it a success. My old memories of the world are gone. The path is empty again, and there's only darkness everywhere I look. Interesting. So technically, you remember that there are things you have forgotten. We should find a way to use that. Let's talk about something more positive. We managed to tidy this place up. It's time for the next step. What do you have in mind? Expanding the camp. We have all sorts of craftsmen, from cooks to an alchemist, but they all need a place to work. We can't use the materials from around here. You turn away for a second from a branch or a stone you've just found, and it's gone. I'm afraid only you can solve this problem. The materials that survived your trip always look suitable for building. But these are just stones and splinters. How can you build something with them? Curious, eh? I noticed it with the fire you've made. The things you obtain somehow infect everything similar with stability. Only in small amounts, but it's still something. Even a small branch is enough to make a wooden wall exist without constant supervision. Very interesting. Get a little bit more lore. Ooh, this gives us village. Poggers! So that's how it works. Instead of remembering something, you can just learn it again. That's a nice trick. There's no ill intent. Without education, our world would be left to the savages. You too could learn a few things, though. We could all get information. We could all get together and share our useful knowledge and skills. Nah, I already know all I need to. Leave learning to the kids. Your first lesson? Learn to like learning. That would make life easier for both of us. Whoops, didn't mean to click that. We're one wood short. I had to get the gymnasium, though, guys. The special traits in the villages are imperative. Big, big deal. Yeah, let's do another run. Let's make sure I put villages in. Nothing else I want to take out? How are you guys feeling, by the way, so far? You guys enjoying? Do you want me to keep going? Do you want me to switch to just chatting soon? I'd like to get a feel for the room. I'll give it a couple seconds for people to respond, see how you guys are feeling. Which also gives me a chance to check something really quick. Inspirational speech, Darnell arc. Nah, keep the game going, my man. Wait, what inspirational speech? I will keep the game going, then. Actually, I will use the bathroom, though. Sorry. I made you guys wait, and now I have to use the bathroom. I'll be fast, I swear. Forgive me. It occurred to me, while I was in the bathroom, that I could have just... It's an idle game. I could have just... In the first loop, you don't die. I could have just set it to 1x speed and had it run while I was speeding. But I'm not smart. So apologies. Forgiveness is a luxury you shall not receive. Understandable. Have a nice day. Let's not put the cemetery down yet till we have some magic damage. Let's put the treasury down. Oh, heartburn. By the way, do you guys like the background? I cleaned up the board games. There's posters. You probably can't really make it out because of how small it is right now. But there's also a Cube from Madoka Magica plush back there, because I really like plushes. Little Darnell secret. Go. Start building a mountain here. Let's get a vampire mansion, like, right here. I put villages in my deck, right, guys? I think I did. I hope I did, anyway. Here. Bada bing, bada boop. I'm pretty sure I did. Smack some slimes. Oh, here we go. Got some vampirism and magic damage. Pog. And we got a weapon. Alright, we can put that cemetery down soon. Cemetery, like, right here. And we'll just put down one for now, see how we handle it. And I know there's a thing you get later that makes cemeteries give you crap when you run by them, but you build that much later in the game. Alright, so allow me to show you. So village heals you upon entering. It says only 25, but the amount it heals you actually goes up every loop. However, you put it next to a vampire mansion, and it becomes a ransacked village, which spawns up to 4 ghouls, and after 3 loops, you get something pretty nifty out of it. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And you want to play it early. You don't want to make one too late in the game, because it can get too difficult to keep up with. Because as I said, and as TD Snyder mentioned, the further in the game you get, the harder the enemies are. So if you make your village on loop 5, you might not make it to loop 8. You want to do it early, or not at all. Based in Darnell Pilled, says Hamilton. I'm not sure what you're referring to, but awesome, I guess. We can make another village, but you don't want to do this because it spawns a bandit camp. And we're on chapter 1, so they may not have the ability, but if they do, bandits steal your equipment. Every time they hit you, they have a 5% chance. And I once had a game where I was about to fight the boss and I had the perfect build, but there was a bandit camp and I didn't realize I had that ability, and they took all my items I had equipped, and I just got destroyed. And I was so sad. So I'm very oh wait, I have an Oblivion. Why did I even tell that stupid story like an idiot head? It doesn't matter, because I can simply Actually, no. I'm gonna keep the bandit camp for one loop, so you guys can see the bandit lore, and then I will destroy it. Because it's not like I have anything that would change my life if I lost now. The quests can be rough. It depends, yeah. Quests can indeed be rough. Basically, an enemy on the map will be buffed. You fight it, and then if you kill it, you come back to the village, you get some nice loot, and then you get a new quest. eBay plush? Oh man, my memories of watching Madoka Magica are rushing back. Think I may be tearing up. Yeah. Old but gold. Very interesting anime. Alright, this is just objectively better. Get some counter in there. So yeah, this isn't too bad right now because we're on loop 2, but once we get to loop 3 and 4, this might be a bit of a challenge if our build hasn't significantly improved by then. That's a lot of vampirism, but I think the magic damage is more valuable to us right now because the sustain isn't as important yet. But we might switch that on next loop or the loop after. We'll put down a battlefield right here. Yeah, there. Then put a rock. Put a meadow. Put a meadow. Bada bing, bada boom. Yeah. And, oh gosh, that counter. That was insane. This gives us evasion and vampirism, which is really good. I think I have to take that. That's so good. Alright, we got some more meadows. We'll put them right here. And as you see, we heal when we go by, and we got a quest. That's that little enemy with the crown. I'm so glad it was a skeleton, the hardest enemy for us. That was sarcasm. I'm not happy. And a quest enemy has a bunch more HP, but then when you kill him and you run back by the village, you get some cool stuff. Honestly, this is just better. The pure health, we need it. Alright, let's knock out this little fuckalo. Come on, hit him, hero. Oh, how is that not 15%? Come on. Whatever. Alright, let's pop down a spider cocoon by the blood grove. Let's see what's in our chest here. Come on, give me something good to eat. That is something good to eat. Magic damage, baby. We already had that. But the evasion and the defense, pretty based. I'll take it. And with our... we only have 2 magic damage. This is going to be pretty tough. 200% increased HP, yeah. Look at that. And we have no magic damage, so we're doing like a nothing. Consider that 2 of that damage is coming from magic. That means we're only doing 5, pretty much. That's how much he resists our damage, which sucks. I think he takes half from the normal damage is what it is. There we go. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. No vampirism, but look at that. Damage to all attack speed and more evasion. So this is the full and final version of the game. I don't know if anyone's heard anything, but I'm curious. Heard anything about what? Yeah, this is the full and final version. Although you've only seen me play Chapter 1 and not even through all the lore. In my other game, I'm much farther. I've gotten to the 3rd boss. You get a lot of lore from the bosses, both meeting them and defeating them. And also, I've built a lot of buildings, so I've learned a lot. So I know a decent bit about the game. And I've already started to form some theories. It's right here. I'm really behind on working on my harpy situation. Let's put a grove like down here. But yeah, this is the full and final version of the game. It got released a week ago from today on March 4th. March 4th actually. And it's very addicting, very, very fun. Which is dangerous because I just started a new set of classes at my online college, and they're pretty difficult. And I just keep playing Loop Hero when I have free time. Like, I'm still working on them, thankfully, but like it's a lot harder because I just want to play Loop Hero all the time because it's so much fun. So yeah, see, we're starting to struggle a bit on Loop 3, but if we can beat these guys now, we just have to beat them one more loop, and then the loop after we'll get our reward. But I don't know if we'll make it that far or not. We need a better weapon really soon. As you can see, this weapon is starting to... Ah! Okay, so 35% chance to perform a counterattack during evade. That could be good. We have 20% evade. 10% chance to keep the card after placing its tile. Not that great. Article of Protection is really good for survivability. I think I'll just take that. It gives you 65% of your max HP as a shield right away, and then every time you pass the camp, which is pretty helpful for just survivability, which is what we're going for right now. It just dropped the other day, so it'll probably update with more content at some point. Yeah, and it even does have a lot of content right now, but they did indeed mention if the game is successful, they'll give it DLC, and this game has been blowing up, so I'm pretty sure it's going to get DLC. But trust me, there are a lot more tiles at play. I just haven't unlocked them yet. You can unlock a fuckload more tiles, and you can get golden cards, and you get special other crap to fill this out more. And new tiles have different combos that add more to the game as well. So already there's a lot going on, but I promise you this game gets way more nuanced the more you play it. It's just because we're starting from the beginning for the stream, it's not so much. If you guys are really interested, I could switch to my other file and kind of show you all I've got going on. But I don't want to spoil you too ahead of the story if you're more interested in the lore end of things. We're going to put down a Hungry Grove here, in case we decide to take down the boss. Let's put up another spider cocoon, maybe over here. And I don't know if we can take another cemetery yet, so we'll keep leaving those as is. Yeah, this game's probably going to get DLC because it's pretty based. I hope I get a weapon because this is not cutting it. I'm on loop 3. These... one of these, do one of these. Alright, and then you're about to see the bandit lore, and then I'm gonna blow their fucking camp up, because I hate bandits, and I don't want to risk it. A little bit more. Hey, I don't remember you. You don't look like a local. That's because I'm not. I see. And you think you can just wander these parts without consequences? Times are rough, you know. Nothing to bite, nothing to wet one's whistle. And we have to deal with strangers and who have no sympathy for our poverty. What? Think you're better than us? Oh? Did I guess right? Is this the correct answer? Because I'm getting the impression this is one of those cases where my answer has zero influence on what happens next. Well, you've got insight. It's the only thing you'll keep today. Oh! Just dropped a good weapon into our hand for no reason. Vampirism, regen, magic damage, better damage. Thank you, game. Yeah. Okay, they don't have the robbing ability, but I'm still gonna delete the camp just to be safe. Because it scares me. I don't know, just... That was the worst way to find out about robbery, is losing my perfect build right before a boss. Come to think of it, murderers and thieves are part of this world too. If my mission is to return everything back to normal, should I be happy they're appearing again? On the other hand, being disgusted with murder and theft is also part of this world, so I guess I don't owe it to anyone to be happy. Yeah, let's pop that. Goodbye, bandits. Loop Hero for Smash. The coolest thing is when you unlock other classes, they're not different characters. It's just Loop Hero learning memories that don't belong to him, and he dresses in different outfits, and it's pretty cool. And he's like, why the hell am I doing these things now? And they're like, I don't know. Alright, alright, alright. Pop down another village, probably over here. And then build another meadow here. Build another meadow there. Get a mountain up here. Bada bing, bada boom. Kill some spiders. Yeah, that shield wears off quick, because you can't heal it with vampirism or regen. Once it's gone, it's gone. But, it's helpful. Rock down. Put another grove. Got a chest here. We're starting to look pretty good. Not worth losing all the HP. That... Not worth it either. I take it soul having is relevant for the necromancer. There's an ability you can get from this that, like, every time you kill an enemy with a soul increases, like, his magic shield, which is easier to explain when we get the necromancer. But yes, that is indeed a relevant thing for him. That every property enemies have is technically relevant, but almost none of them apply to most things in the game, so they don't really matter until you unlock a lot more. So. Which is nice, because, like, you get all the information right away in the game, but you don't have to worry about everything until you get the stuff that matters for it, and you'll know when you get that stuff. Okay, this gives attack speed, which is good. This gives a lot of counter, and it gives some magic damage, but we lose our evasion, which is no bueno. No bueno. And we have nowhere to stick this. That is ideal. Might just... I'll hold out a little longer. Actually, no, wait, I can just stick this here. Duh. We'll pop a spider cocoon over here. And we'll keep things rolling, I think. If we beat this loop, this will become accounts lands, and it'll be like a super duper village. And it'll be very helpful to us. It heals way more, we get better quests from it that get better rewards. Making our way up in the world. I'm feeling pretty good about this run. Maybe we'll get to the boss, maybe we won't, but I feel like this is a pretty solid run so far. All things considered. Pop some more meadows down, kill some more spiders. So, Tan and I recorded the podcast yesterday. Excuse me. Tan Honey, oh yeah. You guys already saw the episode with Uranium Empire, right? Where I told my end of the story about the Among Us SCP. Tan messaged me today. We were supposed to record, because once again, I'm super busy this Friday. Like, I don't know how I'm going to make everything work. And he was like, hey man, I know you said you're busy Friday, but can we record Saturday? And I was like, no, because we won't have the videos up in time. I'll just find a way to do it Friday. But Tan, I swear to God, if you upload Among Us 2, I will literally kill you. And he didn't respond. But he didn't upload it, so that's good. All is well, but I was like, I swear if I see you upload that, I will kill you. It will be vicious. Because, like, I did not want to go through that again. Alright, we can pop this down. Nice, this will let us finish up here. Put a meadow down over here. Got a ring that gives, okay, a little less evasion. No attack speed. Not worth it. Vampirism. That's not worth it either. None of that's really worth it, I don't think. I guess you could argue the Vampirism, but I really like having this extra health, especially because the max health affects our shield we get on every loop. Much higher defense. But we lose the magic damage and evasion. But honestly, you know, maybe screw the evasion. I'm starting to think. Just don't know. Let's keep it for now and see where it goes. Let's save this rock in case we get another sanctuary or treasury, sorry. Put another mountain down. Because rocks have value. Rocks and mountains both benefit from adjacent rocks and mountains, but rocks have inherent value alone. Mountains only have value when they're next to other tiles. So that's why I save the rocks for the corners instead of the mountains. Morgus SCP has over 170 comments right now. Blows my mind. Yeah, it's pretty crazy how much people care about it. People got very different opinions on it, but I already went on my rant about that on my drunk stream last week, so I won't go into any more depth. Yes! Alright, so next loop, this is going to become a based tile. So right now it's ransacked village. The farmers couldn't fight off a hungry vampire. They could still fight you off, though, and I'll show you what it says next time. Of normal villages, first they'll feed you, then they'll make you work. Alright, come on. Let me break you. Come on. Go to hell now. Alright, counts lands. So, this is how much a normal village heals. 40. Counts lands. Heal 115. Gives better quests and better rewards. And the village is thriving under the vampire's protection, and its inhabitants are very generous. So, things went well. Now that the vampire is fed and satiated. So that little bit of vampire lore came into play there, which I thought was really neat. Let's put another village right before here, and then we'll pop an Oblivion on it. And then, oh right, we were saving that rock, duh. But see, now that we're on loop 5, even though I have vampire mansions, I don't want to make more counts lands, because one, I don't even know if we'll go 8 loops, and another, it's just more difficulty at this level, because the enemies are harder. It's not really worth the risk of it. Speed is valuable. I just don't know. Move this up here for now, at least, so we have more time to think about it. We'll save the meadow too in case of treasury. Why not? Gotta make a lot of decisions in this game. You gotta be a big boy decision maker. Okay, what's this? Damage to all defense, but we lose magic damage, vampirism, and regen. Ugh, it's so hard. We need more damage, but that vampirism is really our only sustain at the moment. Which is what makes this such a tough call. Let's slap down another forest over here, I guess. And we can probably afford to put another cemetery in between the villages, because we get a lot of healing from those. Be gone, Harpy! I'll use my time wizard to aid you. Alright, this will give us... Well, we don't have the extra defense, so it's only 3 more defense, but same evasion, and we get vampirism, but we lose the magic damage. But honestly, I think it's worth. Then we can get vampirism from this, which then makes it viable to... Oh, we don't have any magic damage anymore except for this, and we'll lose it, but honestly, screw it. Go, go, go. Alright, we got another level up here. Every counterattack, we're not counterattacking. The hero leaves 10% of his findings, not really worth it at this point in the game, so let's get a new set of traits. If your HP drops below 30%, your regeneration is doubled. We don't have any regen. Battering Ram, the hero rushes in the battle head on. His first attack has a 75%. This is actually pretty good. Let's take Surveyor. For an adjacent roadside tile while passing a tile. Yeah, we have a lot of those, so we're good. Not the best trait. Honestly, I think the Warrior of all the classes has the worst traits. The Rogue and the Necromancer have some pretty good traits, but the Warriors are kind of bad. Oh! Slightly less, well, maybe not slightly less, 70 less HP, but 20% more attack speed. Fuck yes. We're about to start shredding these goblins. Look at us go. Look how fast we're going. Kill! Oh, yeah. Oh, goblins. Oh, I'm not afraid. I'm simply not afraid. They make it too easy. Nice, nice, nice. Alright, we got some meadows, but let's save that a little longer, see if we don't get that sanctuary. Because I just have a feeling the second I place it, the sanctuary is going to come up. And then I'm going to be like, frick. Keep it moving. Nice, nice, nice. Got some more mountains. Got another grove. Where do I want to put this? Let's put it here next to the cemetery, I think. We've got a pretty good thing going, guys. I'm very satisfied. And we still have like 2 or 3 villages left to hit that are going to heal us as well. Alright, how about a sanctuary soon, game? Popping through. Bada bing, bada boom. This gives a bunch more evasion, but we lose out on the other stuff we like. Good enough. Okay, there we go. See? Not this, but I'm just looking at this first. I knew it. I knew it was coming. I could feel it in my bones. Some crap down, get this worked on. And we'll put another battlefield here, create some blood clot lands. Yeah, now we're rocking and rolling. We got a quest wolf here, no big deal. Yeah, let's just take a bit to kill. Meadow down here. Got a rock is perfect. Just one more rock maybe? No, but we have a choice now. This will give us more HP and damage to all and vampirism, but we lose that big attack speed. I think that attack speed's too big to lose. Too big to fail. This might be good. Nah. Yes! Oh, now this is where it gets hard, because 13 magic damage is nothing to sneeze at. Because think about it, that's not only like more than half of our weapon damage, but it's also going to be really good against the skeletons. So that's a tough choice to make. But this vampirism and this damage to all are pretty good. Like less evasion, more counter, no vampirism, no blah blah blah. No. This ring is the only real factor here, and maybe this armor. I think we... I want to say that. Just don't know. I don't know, what do you guys think? Ring or nah? Do we go with the magic ring, or do we keep the evasion and the vampirism we've got going on? Put these down. Oh, look at that heal. Yeah, I just don't know with that ring. It's really hard to decide. Keep this stuff going a little longer. We are at how many villages? 4? Yeah, put another one over here. Save that rock for now. Ring sounds good. I've really only been listening, so I have like an incredibly limited view of how to play. Fair enough, Brandon. I'm just glad you're here. Ring, yeah, let's do the magic ring. My magic damage is going to be choice. Sorry, I got a little pop-up on my computer there. Let's put down another cemetery too, now that we have all that magic damage. We can handle the cemeteries. Yeah. We'll get a lot more resources passing them by. I think we might be able to make one more loop after this. I'm feeling greedy as hell. We're also getting close to the boss, though. Maybe I can show you guys the boss, even if we don't necessarily beat him on this run. The Chapter 1 boss, anyway. More wolves, keep things moving. That's alright, we have shield 2. Oh, I love losing our shield to 2 wolves in the beginning. Come on. Come on, game. This gives us almost double the HP before, but we just cannot lose that attack speed. It's too valuable to our build. Gonna save the meadows a little bit longer, see if another sanctuary doesn't pop up or not. This, not worth. That magic damage ring is really doing work right now. Oh, that damage. Oh, but we need the attack speed. Oh! This game makes it so hard. More magic damage, but we lose the attack speed. No, because that magic damage only barely makes up for the scimitar damage. But this is also tough. That raw level 7 weapon damage is pretty good. Oh, by the way, sometimes when you attack chests, they're mimics, but we have been lucky as to avoid that so far. Thankfully, the mimics usually don't proc till you've hit them once. Which is nice as well. Okay, this gives attack speed and vampirism. Yeah. Slightly less defense, but no, this is pretty good. This actually would allow us, because now this 12 isn't as important. Right. This on. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah! I think we might be able to take the boss. Maybe I'm getting greedy, but I think we might be able to take the boss. Yeah, I don't know. In that case, we have to start building. Don't want to wait on that sanctuary a little bit longer if possible. Alright. You got this. Come on, Hero. Hero, why are you not fighting the leader? Why would you save him for last? The struggle is real. This will give damage to all in regen. And it's barely less damage than the axe. So let's take it. Have you seen the Folk of the Feywild UA? Maybe we'll be getting to the Feywild Shadowfell lore expansion book after all. No, I have not seen the Unearthed Arcana. Like I said, I just don't have a lot of time for stuff like D&D recently. I'm so busy with school and the channel and everything. Crazy. I'm actually a little nervous about these goblins, so I'm gonna blow them up. Screw it, I'm just gonna start placing. No, I'll have to give that Unearthed Arcana a look, because I'm not entirely sure what you're talking about. I think we're gonna die to the boss. I don't think we'll beat them, but I think you guys will get to see the boss this run. If we can just make it to the village, which I think we'll do without any issues. Spider cocoon back here. Maybe what I need to do is... Let's see how far I make it. Yeah. Oh, I forgot about the bandit camp. That could be a real problem. That village saved us, though. I don't think we would have made it otherwise. I really want to show you guys the boss. Oh, Rat Wolf. Might be more worth it than the regen. Oh, I forgot to put down... Oh, crap. He's got some Lich Palaces. I forgot to put down Vampire Mansions. That's what I was going to do to prevent that. Ah, and I don't have any Oblivions. Well, he only has 3, but still. That's 15% extra HP and damage for him, so... That significantly lowers our chances. But it's better than if he has all of them. So that's good, at least. Alright. Get our heal there. Attack speed, but we lose vampirism, and that's the only vampirism we have, but it's also more magic damage and defense. I think we need the vampirism too much. More attack speed, less magic damage, but regen, and that attack speed is going to be vital, I think. Puts us at 48% attack speed. Let's see if I was correct. Oh, yeah. That could give us some magic damage back. Come on. Oh, no, he's focusing on the quest skeleton! We're gonna die! No! Why didn't you focus on the harpy first, you idiots? We barely keep anything. Sorry, guys. I thought he would focus on the harpy. That's the struggle of not being able to control the combat. Because it's auto-done. At least we can pick up the herbalist's hut. That's gonna be big. That right here.
It's a miracle that we could find some fertile soil, and that we were able to save some seeds of precious healing herbs.
But the real miracle is that all these healing poultices and bombs still have any effect.
We've already lost many people because of the cataclysm. It would be nice not to lose more to disease. And these potions can also help you. Take a bottle or two on your trip, and your chances of getting back unharmed will be much higher.
So now we get potions that refill on every camp loop that heal you a little bit. And you can upgrade the herbalist to get not only more potions, but better healing effects, which is really, really valuable. And now that we've got the herbalist done, we can get the farm, which when you go back to camp, based on all the gardens around, it gives you food, which is really helpful. But I think for now, how long have we been going? Like what? Almost 2 hours? I think, I don't know if I have another loop in me right now, but if you guys are enjoying this, because I love Loop Hero, let me know, and I will do more next week, because I've already got the thumbnail from Hamilton. I would be down to play more. I love this game, and it's fun walking through with you guys. But I think for now what I'll do is I'll switch to just chatting, see if anyone wants to talk, how you guys are feeling, and then maybe close out soonish so I can get some dinner. I think that's going to be my game plan here. So let's exit for now, and then I will... Right, because I'm going to full screen this. Properties. Default. Yeah, now you can see the Cube much better, right? And the posters. Scott Pilgrim, Berserk, JoJo. Unfortunately, I can't do anything about the light that glares on the Guts poster, which is a damn shame. Because that's a good-ass poster. I also have a huge Guts poster, but it's like 9 mini posters, and that was too much of a pain in the ass to get moved over here. But yeah, I cleaned up a little bit, got it a little bit decorated. I know it's still pretty sparse, but I hope it looks a little bit nicer for these than just a bunch of random board games back there. But yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on Loop Hero? Because I freaking enjoy that game. Even though usually, in this case as well, I have a problem of like playing a game too long. I can't play a game too long. I just can't hold the same attention span when I was younger. But even still, Loop Hero, I feel, holds me more than most these days. Usually I don't play video games for more than an hour or two at a time. Not just because of busyness, but just they're not as fun. But Loop Hero, I really enjoy. It's just a really chill game. You can vibe to. It's a shame we didn't get more concurrent viewers, though, because I feel like it's a really good game for talking and answering your guys' questions while I play, since you don't have to think too much about what's going on after a certain point. Loop Hero is based in Red Pill. I take it that means you want more next week. I'll probably put up another vote in the announcements at some point. And hopefully people will vote on that sooner rather than later, so Hamilton will know if he needs to make a new thumbnail or not. But yeah. Aside from that, like I said, trying to learn art, it's going to be a very slow and long process. Working on some writing stuff. Got to figure out how the hell to do school. Originally, tomorrow I was going to do a Sam Raimi trailer marathon with my friends, but because Tan was a piece of poo-poo and I have to record tomorrow, I have to significantly reduce that, probably down to one Spider-Man movie, which is a shame. One Spider-Man movie in 1917, because we told a friend we'd watch that, which sucks, but, you know, it's what you gotta do, I guess. But I'm not happy about it, if I'm being honest, but, you know, like, life's life. And Tanhoney is working more hours than me because even though I'm at school, he's working full time while I'm only working part time while doing school. So like I want to let him rest if he truly needs it. But that's also why I was like, you better not fucking post any SCPs today. I'm gonna be so pissed if that's why you were off, of all things. Which is maybe a little selfish of me, but after the Among Us thing, I just was like, come on, man. At least go down and rest if you're gonna rest. Um, but yeah, so we're gonna have to get that figured out tomorrow. I'll get those Amoris done. I'll have to cut that trilogy short and then get a lot more school crap done because I'm still trying to figure out the pacing. Usually, the first week or two of my online classes, I have to figure out what the pacing is, how much time I need to finish projects in a given week. Because some classes are really easy; you can just do everything at the last minute. You shouldn't, but executive dysfunction plus all the other crap going on in my life is just whoopsie. But other classes, you really do need to start a couple days in advance. Usually, as long as I start working by Friday, no matter the class, I can get everything done. But which is why tomorrow's going to be a bigger day. I meant to get more things done yesterday, but my brain was just really foggy for some reason. And then today, I thought I was going to record, then Tian canceled on me at the last minute, and then I admittedly should have done schoolwork, but I started binging an anime instead, and I sunk a lot of hours into that I really shouldn't have. I haven't done that in a long time. I haven't binged anime since I was in like high school, and I was like, oh god, what did I do? And then it was time to stream, and I was like, I just kind of wore the whole day away, being a useless POS. But it happens sometimes, and there's nothing wrong with a day off. Sometimes you're more productive, sometimes you're less productive. And I ended up picking myself up out of my chair because I was just looking at the stream and I looked so stupid bouncing back in it a second ago. But yeah. So tomorrow I'm going to have to figure out how to get... I wanted that time to mostly get the schoolwork done and then do the Sam Raimi trilogy. But because we have to record, I'm going to have to cut that trilogy short, I think. And I'll have to figure everything out and slot that in. But you know what? I'm pretty happy. The channel seems to be growing at a good rate. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm really glad when you guys attend streams and interact with us. Discord's growing steadily. Channel's growing steadily. We're working our way up there. And I'm starting to look at jobs. I'm trying to find ways that I can get to Louisiana, so I'll be ready to move there in a couple months with my friends. That'll be exciting. I don't know how I'm going to work out the recording situation yet. I'll have to figure out the logistics of setting up my equipment. My equipment being a big computer and a fancy mic. And I guess I'll go from there. I've never, outside like living in a dorm at college, I've never really like moved out. And particularly not to another state, so I'm really excited about finally getting out of my parents' house and living on my own and getting that, well, I guess not on my own with my friends, but you know what I mean, like living and figuring stuff out, because I'm basically already paying all the bills as if I'm doing that, but just like living with my parents, which sucks. I'm just saving the money on like rent, basically. I'm buying food, I'm buying gas, I'm paying my medical and all that, so it's like, it's really just the rent. But also there's the, I guess, more sense of responsibility. I don't know. But I'm both excited and terrified for it, and I hope it goes well. And yeah, don't know. Sorry, anyways, about ranting. But do you guys have any questions or anything you want me to talk about in general? Anything you're curious about or that's on your mind? I would be more than happy to share or answer your questions or topics if I'm capable. It's always really awkward when I'm like waiting for responses because of the delay. Because I'm not really sure if I should keep talking or not, or what to say necessarily. It's just something I gotta get more used to, I guess. Because streaming's still a little bit more difficult than videos, especially because like I think people underestimate how hard it is to keep talking to yourself. But additionally, with our YouTube, I have the benefit of being able to bounce off of Tan. It's a lot harder alone, which is why I wish I could get him on more streams with me, and why I enjoy having friends on. I keep wanting to get my friend Travis on. He's also a streamer, but I keep barely missing him at the last minute, which sucks. You thinking of streaming Yakuza Like a Dragon again sometime in the future? Honestly, I'm really sad I stopped. Everyone seemed to want me to stop, though. I would love to again at some point. The only problem is I haven't played it in, like, 2 months now? Maybe longer? So I don't remember what the fuck was going on. Yeah, and I don't know if I could do a Let's Play because it was midstream. I don't know. I'd have to figure it out. Because I'm one of those people that, like, if they stop playing a game, they forget what the hell was happening, and it's hard to get back into. But I would like to. I really wanted to finish that game. I was having a lot of fun with it. Good luck getting things in order, says TD Snyder. Thank you, TD Snyder. That's very nice of you. I appreciate that. And best of luck in all your endeavors as well. That's really all it is. It's just a lot of nervousness about new things, but at the same time, excitement for those things and getting them figured out. It'll be really cool to live with friends. I've never lived with friends before. Even though I went to the same college as my friends, we all had like randomly assigned roommates, and my roommate was a total loser. And I don't mean loser like a nerd and I'm bullying him. I mean he was like a piece of shit. I don't want to talk too bad about him actually, but I don't know. He just drove me insane. He had all these dreams about. He's like, I'm never gonna do drugs. I'm gonna be the president one day. I'm gonna be great. And then he joined a frat and he started dropping acid and coming home and waking me up at 3 a.m. And I was like, oh, wow, frats are so cool. I'm so glad that happened for you. I probably shouldn't say that. I'm sure there are great frats out there. I know everyone's like, well, I'm in an academic fraternity or whatever. But I don't know. That really gave me a bad taste in my mouth. And it's part of why I never did Greek life. Because like the way I saw him change from like this idealistic kind of like straight edge guy to just like all he did was like drugs, and he would come home late all the time from parties, and his grades dropped rapidly. It's like, why did you join a frat, you dum-dum? And the same thing happened to a friend of mine, but I don't know. Frats leave a bad taste in my mouth now. But yeah, that was my only experience living with someone else aside from my parents, and that sucked. So I know it's not necessarily easy to live with friends. I know it comes with its own challenges, but I'm more excited about it than I am living with said roommate or like a stranger. I think it'll be fun. And you know, if it's not like I can't move back home. It's not like I don't have opportunities here. I'm sure I could find something. Because one benefit of having worked consistently since high school is I have job experience. Even if it's not necessarily in the jobs that I want to have a career in, I have enough to be like, yeah, I've got your 3 years of experience. Fuck you, job. That every entry-level job asks for, which is nice. But yeah, it's really just figuring all that stuff out. All that grown-up stuff. All the paperwork. It doesn't take much. You sadly see many people fall like that, says TD Snyder. You really do. You honestly really do. But I also like to believe with the right influences in your life, you can come back. I used to not be the best person. I used to be kind of a piece of shit, and I feel like I've grown a lot over the last few years since going away to college and figuring myself out. And I feel a lot better for it. But I was not always a chill dude. But yeah, I don't know. Makes me sad to see that happen to him. What's your dream job? Honestly, this is going to sound cringe, but YouTube and podcasts. Or anything creative. Like, if I could learn how to do art and make comics or, like, write something with Tan, like another web serial or whatever, I would love to make a living off that. But, you know, that takes a lot of luck, and it's also not stable because, you know, you never know if something happens and you get canceled, or you never know if there's another adpocalypse. There's so many factors that even though you can make a lot of money online, not only is it hard to do so, but it's not necessarily reliable and consistent. So that's kind of scary. But ideally, my absolute dream job would be doing something creative, whether it's just the podcasts, the YouTube, writing, drawing, something where I can like actually make things. But the career I'm expecting to get is in cybersecurity or in marketing. Because I already have a little experience in marketing, and I feel like I could manage it. And cybersecurity makes more money, but that is where I have major imposter syndrome, and I always feel like I have no idea what's going on in cybersecurity, and I'm worried I don't have enough programming knowledge and yada, yada, yada. But you can make a lot of money in that field, and it's a very safe field. No pun intended, because security, ha. But those are probably one of the jobs I'm going to get out of college. And then if some miracle works out and we can monetize our podcasts and or our YouTube, and I could rely on that, that would be the dream. But I'm not counting on it, which is fine. For now, this is my side hustle. But the reason I want to be so consistent about uploads and why I stress myself out to like get recordings done even on busy days is if I want to make it, you know, I want to put in the work. I don't want to half-ass it. And I want things to work out. Ultimately, if it came between like I only have time to do a school or work thing or YouTube, I would do the school or work thing, but I'll do whatever is possible to do both for as long as I can. And love that goal. You guys are doing well, so it might be possible, says TD Snyder. Don't say that. Don't give me hope. Yeah, I know, but like I said, anything can happen. You never know when it all goes away. So, but yeah, I would like that. On another good note, I finally finished Good Morning Poon Poon. My co-hosts, I was the one who planned the topics. I planned all the meetings. They would always bail on me. I edited every single episode except the last episode. Finally, one of my co-hosts edited after I was like, I literally have no time. Please, at the last minute before a subscription expired, they edited it. But then I was like, look, you guys are good people. I don't want to insult them, by the way. They are great people, and I know they have their own business. But like, I don't have time to do all the work for this if you're not going to put in the time, especially because that podcast wasn't even my idea. I joined it on someone else's idea, and then I ended up doing all the work. So I was like, I would love to be your guys' friends. I'd love to talk to you, but I don't want to do the anime podcast we had in mind. I don't feel like we're consistent enough with you guys, and I don't want to be the one who has to do all the work forever. And they were like, all right. And then this person, one of them DM'd me, and they're like, do you want to do a podcast about like being neurodivergent? And I was like, again, sounds interesting, and I appreciate you as a friend, but I just don't feel like you guys are going to do, even if it's just you and me, I don't feel like you're going to do the work that I was putting in, and I just don't have the time. I would rather focus on this channel and this podcast than try and branch off to a second one where I have to do all the work, and it's a lot more... a lot less production value because the benefit of this is I handle things like the thumbnail, the scheduling, getting the guests on. I make the streams. I help set up our recording schedules, and I try to edit when I can, but mostly Tan does the editing, or for the podcasts, Anomalous does the editing. It used to be Anomalous and Lonling, but Lonling went on to better things, and all the better for him. But so like Tan edits the videos, but the thing is, because Tan edits the videos, he's kind of lazy about it. Like in Amori, I'll always be like, you should fast forward so our viewers don't have to watch us grind. And he's like, no, I'm just going to talk to make it content. And I'm like, all right. And then I try to be like, hey, Tan, why don't you let me edit this one so I could do that? But he never lets me edit it. He's like, no, I got it, bro. Don't worry about it. I was like, all right. But no, I want to clarify that's not me trying to shit on Tan, but just I do appreciate it though, because he gets the editing done for the videos. That gives me a lot more time to work on my school. So that's why when he says he's busy and he wants to record another day, that's why I give it to him, even though it stresses me out, because he makes concessions for me. He does things to help me, which I sincerely appreciate. So I want to be able to give him the same leeway, even if it's super stressful. Brandon says, good to hear all of that. LMAO, I'm thinking of marketing as well. Basically, advertising and graphic design sounds like a cool job, smile. Yeah, it is. A lot of it, honestly, is just these days, and I'm learning this in my marketing too, and just in my general experience. It's all online, and I don't just mean like, on the internet. I mean a lot of marketing today. There are like ages of marketing. I don't remember them all because I'm a terrible student when I finished my marketing class. But the current age we're in is like the age of social media and like consumer connection, where the idea is, back in the day, advertising was like put it on as many TV channels, put it on as many like bulletin boards as possible, and just get it out to people. But what people are finding is both cheaper and more effective is building relationships with consumers and finding consumers who are interested in your product and interacting with them and getting them invested. And then those consumers, because they're invested and everyone's connected online, will tell their groups of friends, who will tell their groups of friends, and then it keeps building like that. So a lot of it is about, like, everyone knows, brands are cringe on Twitter or whatever, but honestly, what they do works. Connecting with users, even if it's a little corporate, and comes off weird, it works. That's what they do, largely. That and search engine optimization and, just having your stuff set. Yeah, it's such a big deal to be able to be on the first page of Google. It takes a little bit of work, a little bit of, like, making things connect. I worked on it a little bit before with Harmony in the past, back in the day, but I don't remember all the details. But it takes a little bit of work, but that's mainly it. Basically, search engine optimization and social media branding and connecting with consumers is a lot of marketing. Those aren't the only aspects of marketing, but that's a big part of it. And then managing your IMCs, your interconnected marketing channels, and making those work for you. But I'm not here to give a marketing lecture. Brandon says, LMA, I'm hoping to alleviate some of that channel effort in the future. Wink, wink, cringe, cringe, paste. I love you, Hamilton. TD Snyder says, RIP, I don't mind a lot of the random chatter personally. I'm glad you like it. Sometimes I just go off, And it's very weird, because growing up, I've always been this way. I don't know if it's because of ADHD or if I'm just a weirdo, but like if people let me, I'll just go off, and I usually get two very distinct reactions. And the first one, and the one that makes me anxious about going off, is people who are like, "Oh my god, shut up, you're annoying." And that makes me anxious about it. But then I get people, and I don't know if it's just like the same type of people who like Let's Plays and podcasts in general, but I've genuinely also met just as many, if not more, people who are like, it's actually oddly comforting. I'm like, are you sure? I feel like I should shut up. What do you want to talk about? And they're like, no, I like hearing this. It's like relaxing, like background noise, I guess. So some people are really into it, and some people really hate it. It's usually on one end or the other. Which is always why I'm a little nervous about it, but like if you guys are enjoying it, then I guess it works out. I guess it definitely works better in a streaming medium. I usually don't get that way like in real life anymore, but when I was a kid I would do that a lot. Brandon says, I'm consuming. Yeah, everyone jokes about consumers, but honestly, even like the most like hardcore anti-corporation like people, whatever, are consuming so much more than they think they are. It's ridiculous. People just, we consume and consume. And there's good and bad that comes with that, but that's just the nature of people, and people who act like they don't, they're freaking lying to you, man. That's just the nature of the culture. TD Snyder says, honestly, I'm the same. I became really quiet after a while, though. Yeah, that happened to me for a while, too, like in middle school for a bit, because I was just so done with, like, you know, all the strong reactions. I totally get that, TD Snyder. By the way, are you on our Discord? You should join that. But yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, I should have brought water. I forgot to get water before the stream. But you know, we've been at this for a little bit now. Maybe I'll close it soon. I think I'm gonna leave it open for one more round of anything you guys want to say or ask me, and I'll go through. Feel free to post multiple questions too if you want, and I'll go through, and then I'll think I'll end it off for the night. And probably I'll put up a vote, but probably I'll do more Loop Hero next week. Both because I'm running out of games, but also because I think Loop Hero is a really good streaming game, especially if I can get a guest on. It's such a good game to like talk to, because now that you guys know the main mechanics and the main bits of story outside the bosses, it's not like I have to explain anything. You just kind of play it and talk, which is why it's a perfect Northern Lion game. TD Snyder says, yeah, it's just Ty in the Discord. Cool, I'll keep an eye out for you. Oh yeah, you left a poem you wrote in the writing chat earlier. Do you want me to read that on stream, or would you prefer if I just read that on my own time? Yeah, I could do that. Speaking of the Discord, I should probably quickly check. Thing. Hey, everything's in order. Very funny. And then, okay, any questions here? Good Day says, last question, what? You didn't post a question. Brand Hampton says doo-doo fart. Favorite iteration of movie Spider-Man? I don't know, because I don't watch a lot of superhero movies. I have seen Amazing Spider-Man 3, though, and I did like that one, both because it was just funny. So I guess that one. I find modern Marvel Spider-Man boring. Like, maybe that's not true, because I really liked Spideyverse Spider-Man. I really liked Miles Morales and that. But, like, Spider-Man, it's like, loses all his character to be like, oh, I'm Iron Man's little apprentice. Oh, like, I already don't like Marvel movies, but, like, Spider-Man's one of the only superheroes I actually like. And to see him go from, like, you know, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man who cares about Uncle Ben and Aunt May and, like, has his own shit going on, be like, oh, Iron Man, please notice me. It's like, oh, fucking who cares? Iron Man's so boring. And before everyone unsubscribes because I don't like epic Marvel movies. TD Snyder says, feel free to if you'd like. It's not super personal. Brandon Hamilton says, let us be a guest on the stream. Maybe. I don't know. The thing is, Hamilton, is I have a lot of neurodivergent issues, and you like to make a lot of jokes. Like I think that you're teasing me, but I can't tell, and I don't want you to like make me sad on stream, you know, and then like go quiet. So I'd rather play it safe. Sam Raimi Spider-Man is based. Indeed, good day. All right. I think I will end things off on T.D. Snyder's poem. Let me pop that open. The sun, the stars, all part of this world of ours, but also the endless expanse above. The distance is far, but no matter where you are, and you look afar, you and I see the same sky. We marvel at the moon. Such a shame it's gone so soon. Nights tend to be so fleeting. The exchanges with you are so endearing. Our stars and our moon are shared within our lives as our worlds seem to unite as such differences exist. Under the sky, there's you and I, so far apart, but watched by the stars. Very pretty prose. I think you lose a little bit of your momentum in the fourth verse, but otherwise very pretty. I like it. I like the imagery it paints. I think with that, I will leave things off, guys. This was great. Thank you again to everyone who showed up. I always appreciate seeing you guys on the stream and talking with you, because that's really the most fun part of streaming is the live interaction, rather than just reading comments from like an episode a week ago when I've already forgotten a lot of stuff. Is really cool. So that's why I like when there's like bigger streams and there's more people. But you guys were super active and awesome and fun to talk to. I had a great time, and I hope you did as well. So, bye! Bye-bye!